All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Dash for the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders, the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord that are prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom. And Brother Uriah, I'm coming back at you with some news, various topics and prophecies. Man, I didn't really have anything prepared. I'm just going to roll kind of in the spirit. As I was looking through the site, which is a pretty good site, blacklistednews.com. There's a lot going on in the earth, man. And, I guess the general message of this spirit of this message is keep pushing, man. We're now in the time of hastening day. This week, for myself in particular, it was a hectic week. Things you get caught up with things and work and this and that. But ultimately, man, sometimes you get to the end of the week, you don't have to deal with these devils no more, and you can just kind of rejoice because sometimes, brothers, it's just good to realize, man, the Lord imparted some knowledge unto you that He didn't impart to anybody else, and even further than that, there's some brothers who actually got this knowledge imparted unto them, and it was taken away from them, even more so, man. So you just have to be extra grateful for every day that you're in this thing, that you wake up in this thing. And the most powerful tool that the Most High gave us, He gave His children, His men, His elect men in these latter days, was prophecy. Because prophecy is turning everything on its head. It's why the Christians can't leave us alone. All right. It's why these Hotep conscious niggas can't keep our names out their mouth. All right. And it's the spirit of prophecy that's going to separate us from everything else, man. We're going to be that light unto the world, all right? And pretty soon it's gonna get dark. Well, it already is in a lot of cases, but pretty soon Esau is gonna roll on us, man, because it's gonna come to a point to where Christians can still try to mount arguments, various things in the Bible and scriptures, but hey, man, when some of these prophecies get ready to happen, especially namely that mark of the beast prophecy, there ain't gonna be a goddamn thing anybody can say, man. And the only group that's really been pushing this prophecy, this particular prophecy in general, is Great Millstone. You know, truth be told, everybody else, they might say it, they might be kind of on the fence, or they won't say anything, or they might cover it, but they don't focus on it. But this is the focus, man. Every video I do, I almost every video I do, I at least mention the mark of the beast if the mark of the beast isn't the topic itself, because those are the times that we're in. Because prophecy is the spirit that we need to be occupying. All right, and the major prophecy is the mark of the beast. But with that being said, I'm gonna run through some of these headlines really, and and just see where it goes from there, man. Honestly, this is before I do that, I'm gonna get for pretext what we would see in these latter days. This is Matthew 24. So this is Matthew 24:7. It says, uh, actually, I'm gonna start at 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right. So we've been hearing rumors of wars for a while, and I think this guy Joe Biden is going to pop off an actual war. We're going to go back to war, or not we as in I'm a part of this thing, but you know America, and all these Americans that are going with it. Y'all going to be drawn back into war at the end of the day, because this man can't help himself, man. He's been at perpetual war since he started this country. You know, all the way back from the Gadites, the Reubenites, to other Edomite nations. All right, to the Middle East more recently. Um, and the final war is going to be World War III, which is inevitable, man. Like there's too many signs pointing to this thing coming to pass. Verse 7, it says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And we've been seeing earthquakes for the longest time, but I think we're going to see a whole heap, a whole heap of earthquakes on large scales, like 8, 9 magnitudes, hitting specific areas, causing all kind of mayhem. even though we've been seeing earthquakes for a minute, and famines are on the way. All right, a lot of people don't realize how fragile the American food system is, where basic things like certain fruits and nuts, 2/3 of them are produced in California. You know, nobody really grows their own food. It's all on these concentrated areas of farmland that Esau has control over. All right, and all he's got to do is stop the truck, and the whole food chain, the supply chain for food, shuts down completely. Okay, and you think about it, how do you get most of your food, man? You got to go online, or you got to walk into a grocery store to go get it. You don't have access to your own food. I know I don't, and you don't know what's in it. So famine is closer around the corner than you think. All right. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. Now let's read a couple of these. The first one is the Facebook bans Robinhood stock traders group with 157,000 members. So this is the whole debacle of the stock market, where this whole play, like when the scriptures say your gold and silver is cankered, you know, this is what it's talking about, because this money ain't real money anyway. As a matter of fact, I'll get that in James. But see, now everybody is waking up to the fact that this whole place is bullshit. It's run on witchcraft and magic, sorcery. Everybody's drugged up, on social media, addicted to validation. They're soft, don't know anything, hyper emotional, don't understand how basic things like money works. This is James 5:1. It says, Go to now, ye rich man, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you, because great misery is going to come upon this place when all hell breaks loose, when you have hyperinflation setting in. All right. When you want to get, your oil change on your car, and it's $80,000. That's where things are headed. It says your riches are corrupted and your garments are moth eaten. All right. It says your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. All right. So this is part of that witness against them, because Wall Street has been doing something called taking shorts out on certain companies. And I ain't gonna say the name, but I work for a company where these Wall Street guys, they would collude. They would do what you call take out a short position on a company, on a stock. And what they're basically doing is betting on the stock to go down. And so a bunch of Wall Street guys would throw money, hundreds of millions of dollars at it, betting on it to go down. And that actually forces the stock to go down. So these stocks are artificially depressed in value. All right, if y'all brothers follow me. And they're betting that the stock will go down. So that's how they're making money, by betting that the stock will go down, while at the same time forcing the stock to go down. So, companies like GameStop, AMC, a few others, these guys on Reddit basically found out that, like in GameStop instance, 80% of the stock activity was shorts. All right, so they saw this and realized, hey, these niggas are like artificially depressing the stock. So they bought a hell of a lot of the stock at ultra low price, and GameStop in particular, it went up 1,100%. All right, and this all stock manipulation. It's all bullshit. But it just goes to show you that Esau Edom is even tired of this shit. Even he realizes that this shit it's bullshit. People can't feed themselves. They can't. Their wages are stagnant. You got to work your ass off for an entire year and hope and plead you get $1 raise. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, everything's going up. Your rent's going up. What people are charging for car maintenance is going up. All of this shit. This ain't no way to run a kingdom, man. And people are tired of it. And ultimately, these are signs that the end is here. That's why it says, "And the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were a fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days." So this is also a sign that we're in the last days. So on this next one, it says, lawyer Lynn Wood asked to undergo mental health evaluation by State Bar. I don't even know who that is. But these devils are all bugged out anyway. See, long term. Look, and certain things you can't even say on YouTube anymore, man. Like you can't title things a certain way. You can't say certain things. They can literally put a transcript of your voice, and pull out certain keywords and flag you, you know. Um, but this here says long-term mass use may contribute to advanced stage lung cancer. A study finds. Now, this is a study. I didn't say this. This is a study according to Esau's Kingdom, but it makes sense because if you can get lung cancer from breathing in cigarette smoke and carbon, excess carbon, all right, it would stand to reason that when you have that thing on your face, you're breathing in a much higher degree of carbon content than you're used to. All right, you're getting lower levels of oxygen for sure, and so over periods of time, yeah, that would make sense. But see the symptoms of what this cancer, that's that they gonna label that as a symptom of what, because this place has got to go, man. you know, ultimately, this reminds me of Psalms. Is it 12? I'm gonna read some of Psalms 12. This is Psalms 12 and 2. They speak vanity, every one with his neighbor, with flattering lips, and with a double heart do they speak. All right, because they've been telling you this thing is good for you. Wear a mask, stay away from each other, social distance. When all of these things have the opposite effect, and I don't know if this is true, which I would be inclined to believe so, but it stands to reason that it makes sense that it would. But they've been telling you to wear a mask, and things like this could happen. They're telling you to stay away from each other, and then depression's up at an all-time high. Divorce is up. Suicides are up. All right. They're saying we need to lock down. People are losing businesses. They're going crazy. Crime is up. So this is all vanity, man. Because on one hand, they're saying we need to do these things so we can be safe. But he's the devil, and he's not to be trusted under any circumstances. It says the Lord Yahweh shall cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speaketh proud things. And we know Esau Edom is proud, man. There's no way you gonna fix your mouth to say you gonna put a jab in every hundreds of millions of people, billions of people in the world, you know, knowing that the side effects of these things are occurring. All right, that he cannot be sued for. He's not going to take any responsibility. If 100 million people drop dead, guess what? Nobody can sue. All right. So he's proud to think he's going to do this and get away with it. He says, verse 4, who have said, with our tongue will we prevail. Our lips are our own. Who is Lord over us? Because if you question this, you know, YouTube will shut you down. The media will get on television with that suit and tie and demonize you. And that's what's coming. It says this here UK wants to use children as covert agents to spy on their parents. That's yeah, we're out of here, man. We got to get out of here. This place is through. It says after Crown Royal, Davos meets to Great Reset. Now this is some next level wickedness. All right, some next level wickedness. I believe that's in Isaiah. I will be like the Most High. they they off the chain, man. But the Lord is showing us these things because a lot of this is for the hopeful elect to see it and be like, oh, hell no, I can't have anything to do with this. I got to repent. You see, there's a remnant of us that are going to see things like this and we're going to do the right thing. All right. We're going to recognize, because if none of all of these things didn't happen, man, some of us that are of the elect that were destined to be delivered, to be part of that first dominion, we wouldn't have woke up. But some of these things had to come to pass as it's all written. So some of us, Lord, will not be of that number of the elect would see these things and be like, oh hell no, you know. I need. There's got to be a better way than this, you know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna start it. This is Isaiah 14:12. It says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?" And they weakened the nations like 1/3 of the U.S. economy completely wiped out, gone. Then a few months, wiped out, never coming back. Boom. And then all that money transferred, that transfer of wealth went all the way up to the top 0.01% of people. You know, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, these billionaires, they got more money than they've ever gotten before, and 1/3 of the U.S. economy is wiped out at the same time. You locked down, you don't know what's gonna happen. You got people stupidly hoping for a jab to come through so they can go back to work, not knowing what's in it. That's weakening the nations, man. It says, "For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north." All right, and this is the north. This what's known as the west today is what's referred to a lot of times in the scriptures as the north. All right, which is Esau, Edom's kingdom, the beast, NATO, the EU, America, because that's who these guys are. These so-called global leaders. It says with the U.S. Biden presidency, Washington has rejoined the global warming agenda of the Paris Accords, with China making proud pledges about meeting strict CO2 emissions. Yada yada yada. Says says the World Economic Forum is about to unveil what will transform the way we all live, and what the World Economic Forum head Klaus Schwab, which is the demon, calls the Great Reset. Make no mistake, this all fits into an agenda that has been planned for decades by old wealth families such as Rockefeller and Rothschild. Hey, need I say more? All right, they have to figure out a way to get world domination, and they can't do it anywhere. They can't do it anymore by staging physical military campaigns. That's why they invented the U.S. dollar, and that's why they made it the petrodollar. All right, so they've used that to start colonizing countries like Iran. They can put sanctions on you. China, Russia. Think about all the things we can influence on Russia using the dollar. All right, printing a bunch of it, manipulating it, putting some in circulation, some not, deciding where it gets distributed. That this undermines the economies when it's the world reserve currency. All right. So this is what Esau pivoted to try to subdue the entire world, but because he know he can't just go in and invade, you know what I'm saying? And to be truth be told, these Americans don't really want to smoke with them Russians anyway on the physical warfare. Them Russians, man, hey, they a whole different level of Edomite, all right? But ultimately, this is what he's pivoted to lies and deception, propaganda. He's got, especially you Jakes, to buy this shit, man. Because y'all are out there to the tune of 90% voting for these so-called Democrats that ain't done nothing but give you welfare, which has destroyed you. All right, they've done nothing about the drugs, the poverty. Anyway, this is how he's gotten there, man. This is how he's exalted himself. He's created things like the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, the European Union, all right, the United Nations, all right, the World Economic Forum, the Council of Foreign Relations, all these global entities. He's created this infrastructure. Why? So he can try to goad you into thinking you should trust him. Meanwhile, he's stealing all the wealth from the world. He's taking all of these assets, weapons mainly, militaries, gathering them all unto himself, and that's in Habakkuk 2. He enlarges his desire as hell and is as death. This is what we're dealing with. It says, "I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north." Verse 14, Isaiah 14:14. "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." All right, and you can see this. You got the Dragon launch with this Elon Musk company, the SpaceX. They're trying to launch Starlink, which they'll be able to get you internet way in the middle of nowhere in the jungle rainforest. You'll be able to get high speed internet because when he puts that chip in you, he's gonna want to know where everybody is, even you some of you native tribes way out there in the jungles in South America, he's going to be able to put a chip in you and track you. All right, everywhere. I'm talking about deep rural bush where there's no civilization. You're gonna be able to get high speed internet with this Starlink company that Elon Musk is launching. All right. Let's see what else. And I won't be too long on this. I'm just rolling, you know. Call Allah Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Bachakodash. It says how CIA created Signal Messenger app. And the CIA is behind all of these apps, man. If you think you got a WhatsApp and your shit's encrypted and nobody, ain't no privacy here, man. That's why I ain't worried, bro. You can check my browser history, Esau. Whatever, man. You know, it's out there. Hey, you're gonna roll on me anyway. The Esau already knows who you are, man. He's got enough data on everybody. So when that time comes, if you don't have Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah on your side, man, that's gonna be it. That's a wrap. It says the internet's war on Wall Street did what government could not do. It united America, and some people are tired, man. All right. News speaking the 21st century, how to become a model citizen in the era of domestic warfare. And get ready, brothers, for that, because this whole domestic terrorist thing, that's about to be a buzzword. It already is, but it's about to be repeated over and over and over again. And just how they pivoted with this whole crown royal thing, from it being from China to senior citizens to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, just how quickly they pivoted from that to us. Watch how quickly they pivot from these Edomites storming the Capitol to you Jakes. All right, namely you Israelites who are preaching. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna get that in the Apocrypha. Is it Second Ezra 15 or maybe it's 16? I think it's 16. Yeah, this is Second Ezra 16 and 70. It says, I'm gonna start at 68. This is Second Ezra 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle with things offered unto idols. All right, and part of that happened in the time of the Greeks with Antiochus. But this is also double folded what's going to happen now, because there is a great multitude over us, these Edomites, all right, with these race wars, all right. Verse 69, it says, and they consent unto them that shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. All right, it says, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. All right, a great insurrection. So this whole thing, domestic warfare and domestic terrorism and all, get ready to be smeared, get ready to be slandered, get ready to be targeted, get ready to be given up by your own family members, your own people you thought were friends, so-called friends in the world. This place is through, man. And you can see some of these other ones. Second California patient dies soon after the Maxine investigations underway. Nothing's going to come of these investigations. The ball is already rolling. The world is not going back to normal, man. Tulsi Gabbard warns against the danger of new domestic terrorism laws. And Tulsi Gabbard was a former presidential candidate. She's one of the few that will speak more truth than the rest of these heathen, will on things. She's one of the ones that's frustrated, even though it's off to put these women over in leadership positions. But hell, the truth comes out how it comes out. Enemies of the deep state, the government's war on domestic terrorism is a trap. Says we're moving fast on a slippery slope into an authoritarian society in which the only opinions, ideas, and speech expressed are the ones permitted by the government and its corporate cohorts. Well, I hate to break it to you, it's always been that way. But see, now he's starting to take that illusion away. You know, in that scene in The Wizard of Oz where, you know, uh, I remember I watched The Wiz growing up more than I did The Wizard of Oz, but it's the same thing. You realize the wizard behind the curtain is just some nigga, man. You know, and now the magic of what things seem mysterious is starting to be revealed unto people. All right, that's what's happening. You're starting to see that these are that this American dream he bought into when it goes into Daniel. His look was more stout than his fellow. That goes to the vision that America had, this promise of freedom, American exceptionalism, and pursuit of happiness, and all of these smooth words. You're starting to see it for what it really was, a giant Ponzi scheme, a means to aggregate all of these people in one, tax the hell out of them, you know, build up your wealth, build up technology, the means to conquer the rest of the world, and to ultimately enslave everyone else, man. Because let me get this, man, and I'm gonna get this actually. Now I'm gonna close it out. I'm gonna cut it short on that. This is about the last article on this page, anyway, because that's ultimately what this thing is going into, man. I believe it might still be in Matthew. Uh, yeah, Matthew 24 and 22, same chapter. It says Matthew 24 and 21. It says, "For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. No, nor ever shall be." Hey, this is how we know we're in the last days. You know, and I'm getting excited just thinking about it, man. I hope this thing pops off tomorrow. All right. I'm tired of waking up in this bullshit ass society. You know, I want my test. The Lord willing, I can pass that test. The Lord gives me the spirit to endure and to pass that test, so I can get through these things. And this whole, regardless if I pass or not, man, this kingdom's got to go, man. If you're a man of the Lord and you could see that your fate might be the one of the brothers who dies, well, so be it, man. I'd rather die than to watch the creation of the elect men be squandered and be destroyed. All right, so be it. Let it happen, man. At this point, I'd rather die than to watch uh, Esau continue destroying people, man. This isn't the way things are supposed to be. So I'm hoping and praying that these days are upon us right now, regardless of what my fate is personally. You know, now I pray for mercy. I pray I don't have to get touched. But hell, if that's what's got to happen, man, that's what's got to happen at this point. You know, verse 22 it says, "And except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved." All right, because when you're talking about modifying people's genetics, making people GMOs, you don't know what the hell you're going to turn into 10, 20 years. You don't know what the hell it's going to do to your offspring, your fertility, any of these things. And he can't be sued. He can't be held accountable for it in any way, shape, or form. And if he is held accountable for it, you saw what happened when Wall Street lost trillions of dollars and put millions of people out their homes. What happened? Nobody went to jail. They didn't even get fired from their job. They paid a fine out of the company that they ran after they made 10 times of what they had to pay out in the fine. So that's why we got to get out of here, man. That's why there is no coming up. That's why there is no building, no black communities here, so-called black communities, no banks. Yeah, that's why if you have stock in this place, in this world, ultimately you're going to be destroyed because you can't see it. You can't get it that the Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai has put this man over us to do these things because he wants us, the ones that he loves, to repent so the kingdom of heaven can be at hand and real rulership can start on this place, man. So, you know, that's just what it is. It says, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And that's what we're praying for every day. You know, so with that, hopefully our brothers were edified. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachach Wadash Shalom Wa Abba Ball.